Hi, I'm Lango, and this is Investor Place Quick Picks, where we communicate to you some of the market's best investment ideas in just 10 minutes.
America's leading innovation investor, Luke Lango's Investor Place Quick Picks.
Today, we're going to talk about a space tourism company that I've been beating the bull drum on for a long time, and which I believe is finally ready for an enormous breakout. The name of the company is Virgin Galactic, ticker SPCE. Now, you may have noticed Virgin Galactic has been in the headlines recently because the company successfully completed its first space test flight in over 2 years this past weekend. In anticipation of that test flight and following the success of the flight, Virgin Galactic stock has soared like a rocket ship. It was up 30% going into the test flight. It popped 25% after the test flight. This stock is on its way up. Now, I think this rapid ascent will continue because that test flight could mark a critical inflection point in the company's growth narrative. From testing, from that phase into, all right, let's get commercial ops up off the ground and let's create a business. I think we're at that turning point right now. And over the next 6 to 12 months, as Virgin Galactic sprints into this phase, into the commercial ops phase, Virgin Galactic stock could very easily pop all the way back to $50. Here's a deeper look. Okay, so first let's address the fact that Virgin Galactic stock has been absolutely crushed over the past few months. And that's because the company kept delaying the test flight. There was supposed to be this big test flight in December, it got delayed because of electromagnetic issues, then there were some hardware issues. Net, the test flight got pushed back all the way to May. So that's a 5-month delay. During that 5-month stretch, you saw insiders sell, you saw some funds bail on the stock, and you saw the stock price just get absolutely hammered. Well, at the bottom, as they always do, the shorts piled on, and then guess what? You had this successful test flight. Boom, successful test flight, shorts were forced to cover, you had a short squeeze, and boom, the stock shot up about 50 to 60% in a matter of days. Big news from a stock price action standpoint. It looks like momentum is back in the stock, but more importantly, from a fundamental business perspective, I believe that this is the point at which Virgin Galactic starts to become a business, not just a technology, not just a cool idea, not just a cool concept, but a business. And that business is going to be worth a lot of money one day. So a lot of folks have really hammered on Virgin Galactic for, having so many delays over the past, what has been 10 to 15 years. But those delays have been worth it. Because guess what? What Virgin Galactic is doing is literally rocket science. They are flying people up into space and guiding them back down to Earth. That is rocket science, folks. It's complex, it's hard, it's not for the faint of heart. And you also have to be perfect. Right, because if you're wrong on that rocket science, if you make an error, if there is a calculation misstep, that can result in, and likely will result in, the loss of life or the loss of multiple lives. Very high stakes game. So Virgin Galactic has to be perfect, and perfection takes time. That's why Virgin has delayed so many times. They want to make sure that when they actually go into space, it's perfect, no missteps. And that's what you saw in the test flight this past weekend, right? That test flight was flawless. In the CEO's own words, it was flawless. And it was flawless because Virgin Galactic took so long to make it flawless. I mean, the VMS, so the way the Virgin spaceships work, right, is you have the VMS Eve mothership and the VSS Unity rocket ship. The mothership goes up into the air. It drops the VSS Unity rocket ship in air, which then fires its rockets to 3 times the speed of sound, goes into suborbital, hangs out in microgravity for a little bit, and then boom, glides back down to the spaceport. Virgin Galactic completed that entire test flawlessly over this past weekend. The successful get up, successful launch, successful rocket, successful sit in microgravity, successful glide, successful landing with 2 pilots and a passenger payload. Not passengers, but a NASA-sponsored payload in the back. So that's really, really, really good news. And it appears that Virgin Galactic has perfected the technology. Now, with the technology perfected, well, that means it's time for Virgin Galactic to really step on it. It's time for the company to go from this testing phase to this hypergrowth business phase, and I think that starts this summer. So here's how I see the next few months shaping out for Virgin Galactic. They're gonna fly Richard Branson into space. It's gonna be a huge thing. Everybody's gonna pay attention. Oh my God, somebody went up to space and back, the first space tourism flight in the history of mankind. That's gonna happen. It's gonna knock the socks off everybody. Every mainstream media outlet's gonna cover it, and Virgin Galactic stock, it's gonna move higher. Then after that, the company's gonna reopen reservations for its astronaut program for people that wanna pay $200 to $250K for a space flight. I think those reservations will soar. Those numbers will go way higher because you have validation of the technology and of the business with the Richard Branson space flight. So I think those reservation numbers going to go significantly higher, which is also going to cause the stock to go significantly higher. Then in early 2022, I think they're right on track. Virgin is right on track to start commercial space ops, and they're going to fly the first people that have paid their $250,000 reservation up into space. And of course, that's going to be successful, and it's going to cause a significant surge in the stock price. So I think you have a series of major upside catalysts here for Virgin stock over the next few months and quarters that basically imply that this stock, which was going like this for a long time, is now gonna go like this and rebound all the way back to and above all-time highs. That rebound started this week. It's going to continue with vigor over the next few months. The time to buy, well, the time to buy was last week, but if you didn't, now is a great time to hop on the train. It is a train that is going way, way higher. Now, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about why long-term I think that the Virgin Galactic business model is such an attractive one. And that really breaks down into 3 things. 1, demand in this market is going to be enormous. There are enough really ultra wealthy people out in the world that would pay anything for a new experience. And if that new experience is seeing Earth from space, you betcha they're putting $250K down. Demand here is going to be huge for space tourism. That's just a fact. Now, number 2, supply is going to be exceptionally constrained, right? So it's rocket science. What Virgin Galactic has developed is rocket science. Blue Origin's doing it, SpaceX is doing it. That's about it in the world right now. There are a few other startups trying to do it, but long story short, there are not a lot of companies in the planet that can do what Virgin Galactic is doing, that can offer the services Virgin Galactic plans to offer in 2022 plus. So you have a big demand market with limited supply, which means significant pricing power for the companies that can provide these services, like Virgin Galactic, which means high gross margins and a very profitable business model. That's why long-term, I see Virgin Galactic as being a company that can not just generate massive amounts of revenues, but also massive amounts of profits, and at the same time, turn those profits into exceptional value for shareholders. Now, the third and final point there is that it's Virgin Galactic. There is going to be a brand with this name as they fly people into space. You're not going to just trust anybody to fly you into space. If Virgin Galactic can successfully be the first mover in this space, if they can successfully fly Richard Branson up and back, successfully fly a few people in 2022 up and back, then come 2023, 2024, it's going to be really hard for a new entrant to come into the market and take away Virgin's brand power. They've already developed a brand for safety, for being a name and a company that can fly you into space safely, effectively, and for a pretty good price. The $250,000 price is actually about as good as it gets in the space tourism market today. So for those 3 reasons, I really like the Virgin Galactic business model long term. I think there's a lot of shareholder value to be unlocked in this specific name. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Investor Place Quick Picks. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, please subscribe, the notification bell, smash the like button, or come and visit us over at investorplace.com. Until next time, Cheers and happy investing to all.